My name is Peter Georgescu. I'm speaking to you from Chautauqua, New York, a fascinating place full of intellectual stimulation. It's kind of an Aspen Institute with its own opera, symphony, choir, ballet, repertory theater. It's a camp for adults. I love it and probably unique in the world. I'm an everyday American, an immigrant. I came here when I was 15 years old. I've been blessed by having many disruptive heroes. I call them guardian angels. They disrupt towards the good. I would say the most important one was a lady called Frances Payne Bolton, congresswoman from Ohio, an extraordinary woman, very close friend of Eisenhower's. That's a very important part of the story. I had found myself in Romania with my older brother, 5-year older brother. We were in a hard labor camp. My parents were being in New York. We were in Romania. They were in New York, separated by the Iron Curtain by accident. They tried to blackmail my mother and father, asking them for our safety in return for them spying for the Soviets and the Romanians. The FBI told my father, go tell the story to the public at the height of the Cold War, create a scandal, and maybe the Russians will be embarrassed to kill the kids, and let's go at it. That's what he did. 1953 had headlines, the Georgescu family being blackmailed. Frances Bolton reads this story, calls my dad and says, I'm going to get the boys out of Romania because my parents had become American citizens by then. Well, she tried in many ways. Eventually went to Eisenhower and said, Mr. President, get the boys out of Romania. He knew Mrs. Bolton very well and respected her. She was influential in getting him elected president, or actually being nominated to the Republican convention in Chicago. And I believe he saluted her and said, yes, ma'am. And the upshot was that we got traded for a bunch of Russian spies. And we landed at Kennedy Airport, now Kennedy Airport, on April 13th, 1954. Now, this is the woman that changed my life. I wouldn't be alive today. She hadn't done that. And I owe everything to her intervention. What Frances Bolton did for me was critical to how I look at my life, the good fortune for being graced to have whatever innate talents that I have had, and to have been given the opportunity to live in this country where these wonderful people, these Americans who really created this uproar that forced our release, inspired me over the years to, first of all, to live my life in business in an ethical, value-driven way. That, in fact, was my first way of giving back. I think being philanthropic is nice. Having the ability to live your life in the real world with integrity and values is one of the most important things any of us can do. Because people pay attention not to what you say, not just the books you write, but how you live your life. The decisions you make, what you stand for, and walking the talk. That's what makes the difference. And the fortunate thing for me now, I have more opportunity to do the latter, to walk the walk, to spend my time giving back to different causes.